experience, my friend, was a good one.
Yes, indeed, because it was kind of the beginning, really, and Simon kind of even said to me that year was really the template that was used for the rest of the series. Our treatment, I got to say, I got nothing to complain about in any way, shape or form, because we were looked after by our own mentors, and they gave us songs that we all had to agree on. Sometimes they said, look, do this song or do that song. Yeah. But there was a kind of a consensus that you were happy to do that song. So as far as I'm concerned, when I hear this, it's like bewildering to me, because I don't know who's complaining, but from what's been suggested or alleged is the people who've actually made it. Now, the difference back in my days, which was 17 years ago, was we didn't have social media. Right. So that didn't follow you. But regarding the well-being of people on the show at the time was absolutely incredible.
Well, look, let's get the story as to what the accusations are, and then we'll talk about the disclaimers and go back to your experience, Chico, after we speak to Stephanie Tecci here, showbiz reporter. So what is the story and what are the accusations?
So, since February, Simon was hit with one set of claims. Psycho was hit with one set of claims of bullying and harassment. But now there's a fresh set of case of 6 claimants, 5 solo acts and 1 group act who've said that appearing on the X Factor led them to be bullied, mistreated and facing neglect. And they've came together, and it's potentially like a case of strength in numbers. And they're preparing this legal case against Psycho to say that being on the show has affected their mental health. And what they want to be compensated for is the amount they've spent seeking medical professional help, which they feel the show should have provided to get their life back on track. Psycho have come out and said that this is nothing to do with Simon Cowell. He wasn't aware of it. He wasn't involved with any of the incidents. Even though it's Simon's company, it seems they're very much separating between Simon's response and their own response. X Factor also have come out and said that there was welfare, robust measures in place that helped these candidates at the time. But you see, this was around up to 2018. So what was considered welfare then and welfare now is 2 separate things.
Okay. Chico, when we think of X Factor and we're talking about the JLSs and the One Directions, and arguably you, one of the biggest names to come out of the brand, we think of, the successes. But you've got to admit, one part of the show was also sometimes laughing at the expense of people who clearly were deluded or didn't have any talent, and perhaps exploiting their mental health a little bit. And, there could possibly be... You wouldn't get away with that today.
You wouldn't get away with that today. And like what you just said now, the measures that are put regarding the welfare and the well-being of people is so much more. So it was kind of like we were all on a journey, not knowing what's what and how people are going to get affected, especially with the social media. And, of course, look, let's be under no illusions, OK? It's a TV show that will do anything to make the show and get the figures. So whatever that may be, that is the case. And a lot of people go in, when people ask me and say, how would you describe the X Factor? I say, it's a conveyor belt. That's what it is. You've got 12 months and then you move on because you've got new people. And a lot of people go in for the music, but it's a music business. It's still a business.
You saw the business side to show. So there's more business than show in it. So you were mentally strong for that, Chico, and you were quite aware of that. But I think it's fair to say, Stephanie, not everybody would be as seasoned or as wise as Chico.
No, and, like a lot of these people come from, like poor backgrounds. So to go on to X Factor, they think it's their meal ticket to the rich and famous, and it's not like that. They come off the show and about a year later, no one remembers who they are. And this is what these people are saying. It's the life poster show where they're kind of left to their own devices. Chico, do you think it's worth it to go through that and then you're left
look, absolutely. And I think what you've got to do is you've got to go in it with your eyes open. Now, I can understand. I mean, I was 34 years old and I've done a lot of things in my life. But if you go in as a 16, 17-year-old, you really think what you just said is the be and end all, and they think this is the holy grail. Well, it isn't. It's a platform that you can use to go on to do great things. And many, many people have done some brilliant things.
But you surviving after this, because, 1 minute you're the flavour of the month, you're in everybody's homes, whatever, then you've just got to get on with it afterwards. You got the catchphrase Chico time.
Yes.
You invented that, which was very clever, very, very good. But what do you do? Because you're not just an entertainer now.
No, absolutely. So I'm living from here, Portugal and Croatia. So I do retreats, and I've also got an app called Who Breath, HU Breath, and it's all basically about taking people from, especially the last couple of years, mental illness, anxiety, depression, and all of that. And people normally just come out for a week and spend a week with me, and they will do excursions, breath work, movement, yoga, meditation, cacao ceremonies, and we really go deep into the inner child to discover the inner trauma that's making us behave in a certain way. Yeah. And the breath work seems to do it. So we've got something on the 18th to the 25th. I'd love you guys to come and enjoy it one day, and we're going to be building our own retreat in Croatia as well, near Plitvice Lake.
How do people book you? How do they get in touch with you?
Go to whobreath.com with the lovely Dion Lockyer, who's an incredible mindset coach, so we combine everything, mind, body, soul.
I'm so glad to hear, mate, that you came through the whole experience very well. Psycho, we approached them for comment. They asked to make it clear there was no allegation that Simon Cowell was in any way aware of or personally involved in the incidents or behaviour alleged by the group, which Stephanie has already
well, they also
said.
say the X Factor, despite not having been on air for several years, remains open to discuss concerns with anyone who chooses to do so. So I suppose the door is open there.
The door is open, and guys, even though we're waiting to see what's going to happen with these cases, in the meantime, there's potentially a TV expose which might be coming on air to be talking about these bullying claims. Yes.
And, of course, we've got coming back this time to ITV, Big Brother next year.
Yes, we do. So it's, you know, but hopefully they'll have the right measures in place, because it's all good being a spectacle for TV, but once you're off TV, these people have real lives, and real mental health challenges. There's been too many victims. So
absolutely, and I think you know, there's got to be more robust welfare measures there for people, but at the same time, you know what you're getting into, and surround yourself by people who speak to you the truth and give you the reality of the transitional period, that it's a short period and it's a short window. Use it as a platform, not as a holy grail.
The reality of reality TV.
Well, not many men can pull off pigtails.
Well,
we applaud you for that.
Yeah, midlife crisis, 51 years now, you know, you've got to do something.
Well, Chico time is up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're going to